In this video, we will be discussing the extrinsic and some of the intrinsic muscles of the brachium on the lateral aspect of a dog. First of all, let's look at our extrinsic muscles. We have the brachiocephalicus muscle that comes from the brachium or the humerus all the way up to the head. It has several parts to it that you do not have to distinguish between. As we move caudal to that, we have the omotransversarius muscle. Underneath that omotransversarius muscle will be these very large structures in this particular dog, the superficial cervical lymph nodes. Moving caudally from our omotransversarius would be the trapezius muscle, and that would encompass both a cervical and a thoracic portion. When we reflect the trapezius muscle, we can now see another of our extrinsic muscles, the rhomboideus muscle that attaches to the dorsal aspect of the scapula to the head, cervical spine, and thoracic vertebra. Moving caudally from there, we see the latissimus dorsi muscle, which will go from the brachium all the way over to the thoracic and lumbar vertebra. So let's talk a little bit more about the intrinsic muscles. Underneath the omotransversarius, we'd have the supraspinatus muscle that lives in the supraspinous fossa. Again, here is our trapezius. The deltoid muscle has two particular parts to it, the scapular and acromial portions. Those will be flexors of our shoulder. If I reflect the deltoids underneath that, or caudal to that, you can see the infraspinatus muscle. So the spine of the scapula, which is palpable here, supraspinatus would be cranial to it, infraspinatus caudal to it. Omo and our deltoids. Again, on our lateral aspect, we can see a huge muscle here on the caudal aspect of the brachium. That would be the triceps brachii muscle. The triceps brachii is going to be made up of 4 heads, even though it says triceps. The long head, which is this entire portion. The lateral head, which is on the lateral aspect. If we reflect lateral head, we can see this little portion of the accessory head, and we can find it because of its little tendon that goes with it distally. Once the lateral head is reflected, we can also see part of the medial head of the triceps, which we'll talk about when we reflect the limb onto the medial aspect. If I put that lateral head back, this muscle curving around on the lateral aspect of the brachium would be the brachialis muscle. So that would conclude our lateral aspect of the extrinsic and intrinsic muscles on the brachium.